Welcome out to the range. It is middle of October now. It's overcast today. We're going to try to get this done before it starts pouring rain on us. So today is the LC Carbine Ruger brand 10mm part 2 review. So what we have on here is a Holosun 510C red reticle backed up by a Holosun 3 power magnifier. And it flips in and out so you don't have to use it all the time. The other change I made to the firearm is I moved the charging handle from the left side of the firearm to the right side of the firearm because I shoot left-handed, and it allows me to operate it without taking it out of my shoulders so much. After part 1, some of the comments were, what would be the difference on the meat target and across the chronograph with hotter than my target ammo I used in part 1, and the difference between the rifle with its 16¼ inch barrel and standard Glock with its 4.5 inch barrel. This is a Glock 20 10mm. So we're going to shoot both of those with this ammo today. And this one is 10mm, 200 grain, high-tech coated, hard cast, flat nose, Underwood brand that the box says comes out at 1,250 feet per second. The other one is Wilson Combat brand, 10mm, 155 grain Hornady XTP, coming out at 1,320 feet per second out of a 5-inch barrel. Remember, the handgun's a 4.5 inch, so maybe we won't get quite that out of the handgun. These are the ammo I have on hand. Remember, we're not comparing the ammo to each other. We're comparing the results of shooting both these different types out of a rifle and the handgun. So let us get set up and we'll be right back. We now have our meat target set up at 10 yards and our chronograph set up. What we're going to do is shoot a total of 3 rounds through the handgun, 3 rounds through the rifle. We're going to start with our 10mm auto, 200 grain, high-tech coated, hard cast flat nose that's from Underwood, and the box says it comes out at 1,250 feet per second. For those that haven't seen it before, the meat target is 4 layers of t-shirt on the front, followed by couch leather skin, followed by pork steak pectorals, pork ribs, orange lung tissue with pork ribs on the back, the leather couch skin, and the t-shirt, all of that backed up by the high-tech fleece bullet stop, which is the red down there. What we're trying to see is if there's more damage done to the meat target coming out of the 16.5 inch rifle barrel versus the 4.5 inch, I misspoke, 16.25 inch rifle barrel compared to the 4.5 inch handgun. Because we're limited on supplies today, we're going to put 1 round into the meat target from the handgun and 1 round into the same meat target with the rifle. And then we're going to repeat all of this on the second meat target with the other ammunition. So let's see if I can get this done. One, 5, 9. One, 1, 6, 9. And 1, 1, 6, 1. So now 16.25 inch Ruger LCP rifle. One, 3, 8, 3. 1, 4, 0, 1. 1, 3, 9, 5. Let us get our guns reloaded with the other ammunition, and we'll repeat that same process. Now we're going to shoot the 10mm 155 grain Hornady XTP coming out at 1,320 feet per second out of a 5-inch barrel Wilson Combat. 1250. One, 279. And 1279 again. It's a different point, so I know it's a different reading. The average of those three shots, 1269. All right, stand by. We're going to reset and do it again. So the first round we're going to shoot out of the rifle is going to go into the meat target, and the other two are just going to be for the chronograph. One, 505. 1469. 1483. And the average of those three shots, 1486. We'll cut here. We'll go down, pull our meat targets apart, do a little examination. So we got our meat targets pulled apart here. Unfortunately, we don't have any of either one of the rounds to show you because they all ended up going through our fleece. One reason is, we'll start with the Wilson Combat meat target. I failed to hit enough of it with the handgun to get it to go through here. But with the rifle, we did hit it. It went through both sets of ribs, shattered the ribs, did some damage to the lung tissue, went through the leather, the t-shirt, etc. You can see here on these ribs on the back, it really pulled them apart and destroyed them. And it went all the way through our about 60 layers of fleece. Very impressive, but it's a lighter bullet going fast. With that, one of the reasons I was having issues is I forgot, because I'm not quite used to that rifle quite yet in those new optics, that it has a mechanical offset on it, especially at 10 yards. So I've got it zeroed at 50, and at 10 I was shooting a little high with it. Don't have any excuse for missing with the handgun. Now moving over to the hard cast Underwood rounds. Port pectorals on the front, destroyed. Big holes even for a non-expanding hard cast bullet, destroyed. Lung tissue, destroyed. More holes on the front, ribs, destroyed. Let's see, there we go. Okay, and it went all the way through the fleece, which I've had with 10mm, both handgun and carbines. It goes through the fleece. Those hard cast bullets they penetrate exceptionally well. So if you're carrying 10mm for hogs or black bear or something bigger you need to poke holes through all the way, hard cast is the way to go through 10mm and go out and get yourself some, the hottest you can find. Now, having said that, we'll move on to the chronograph results. And every time we do 10mm with chronograph results, we always get comments about, we didn't have the right ammo, it wasn't fast enough, it's underpowered. So keep in mind, we're not really evaluating the ammo today, we're evaluating the difference that the two barrel lengths give us. So, be a little kinder. Underwood, 200 grain, rifle, didn't have the right pin. 1,494 is our average of those three shots. The pistol, we had an average of 1,160. The box says it doesn't say what barrel length you're supposed to get, 1,250. So not quite. Keep in mind, chronographs don't always agree with each other, atmospheric conditions, etc., etc. Okay. With the Wilson Combat ammunition, 155 grain bullet. With the rifle, we got 1,480 feet per second. And with the pistol, we got 1,269. With the Underwood, the difference between rifle and pistol is 334 feet per second. Especially when you're starting to shoot out there at 100 yards or more, or less. But when you're using a rifle distances, that is a lot of speed you want, or yes. So that's what you get. And then the difference between the Wilson Combat Rifle and handgun was 207 feet per second. Again, that's a significant difference out of the two barrel lengths. So when you're out there on the range and you make mistakes, that's where we're supposed to make mistakes, and we're supposed to learn from them on the range. So we don't make mistakes when we're out in the field. So that goes to what I always like to end my videos with. Go out, test your equipment, practice with your equipment, know how it operates under as much stress as you can give yourself on the range so that you're always the best prepared for the worst case situations.